What's up, guys? My name is Michael, and I'm here to help you move into the 5D. And today we're gonna talk about something that healed my heart, is still healing my heart, is a big thing in my life. It is connected to a lot of other videos that I've been doing, and if you understand this, this will blow your mind. When this realization came to me, I was both sad, but also relieved from a good place, and I can then move on to start to healing the things that I needed to heal. Have you ever been understanding, or have you ever understood that you need to grow up fast? You maybe were the caregiver of your parents. You need to take care of them when they were fighting and they were arguing, maybe, or whatever it was. You took care of your parents. Congratulations, you have been experiencing something called parentification, and that's when the child becomes the caregiver. So that you can be a caregiver to your mom and dad or some of the parents. And this comes with a big cost. It also comes with a few gifts, and I will tell you everything about it in this video, so stick with me until the end. And also make sure that you subscribe. I would really appreciate that. But let's dive into the parentification role and how you can start your healing journey with this thing. So first of all, the understanding that we have been a parent to our own parent. This has gone in generational trauma, and maybe we just pause with that. You've been a parent to your own parent. If that is true, then your parents are only children that got a child, and then they didn't really know how to emotionally, or it's called instrumentally, deal with you. There's two types here, and it's either the one that gives you food on the table and make sure that you have everything materialistically, but they're not meeting your needs as a child because they're still a child. Or you have those that meet your needs emotionally, but they really can't take care of their money or their food, and maybe you're left out, maybe you lived on the street, maybe they took things from you, or they couldn't supply the material stuff with food and basic things. This is the two type of people, how this parentification goes. Maybe you can think about it, what happened to you, but as an example, I had everything, like food and everything, and that was fine, but emotionally no one was there, and I had to be the grown-up really early. I had to take care of my parents, not physically and like feeding them, but emotionally. And this happened subconsciously. The parents does not do this with their own free will. They are doing this from a place of lack, where they had this done to them when they were children. So I can just look at my own parents, and I know that they had to take care of my grandparents. So this is a generational trauma that's been passed on, and it stops right now. You're looking on this video for a reason. Decide it stops with you. I needed to decide that that's not gonna happen with my children, and I'm gonna decide to heal out of this, and one day I will be healed and I will not pass on the generational trauma. When this happens, if we talk about the emotional part, is that your parents cannot meet you emotionally. They can't be there with you when you're crying, when you're sad, when there's something that goes on. They just emotionally are not there. They're somewhere in their mind, somewhere else, and they don't know how to cope. This happens without you even knowing it, and therefore it teaches you that your needs are not important. It teaches you that you need to take care of their needs for you to be safe. When this happens, you subconsciously create a belief that your needs are not important, therefore I am not important. Does that make sense? This whole idea creates a lot of resentment towards our parents because they are supposed to be there for us. They took the decision to create us, and therefore they have the responsibility to take care of us. And if we are not met with those like basic fundamental emotional physical needs, it creates something within us that is either sad, shameful, you feel guilty, and this comes up with you in life. It follows you in like everywhere you go, in every single step you take with every single human. You will have this with you unless you heal it, and it will affect every single thing you do. When you are the caregiver to your parents, you then believe that you have to do this with everyone in your life. Therefore, you forget about yourself, and then it ends up with you not knowing what you want. Because you've always been so focused on the needs of other people and not of yourself. And you don't even know what you like, and you don't even know what you want, and you don't even know what you're gonna do or what you wanna do, because you've been in a constant survival mode with your parents where you always need to take care of them to feel safe. So you have either the instrumental, where they take care of you physically with food and shelter and everything, and then you have the emotional thing where they don't meet your needs emotionally, and here they meet your needs emotionally, but they're not meeting your they're meeting your needs with all the kind of like the material stuff. This makes you highly sensitive. It creates you in a way where you always have to read your parents. You always have to read what goes on with your parents, because you never knew if they burst out, or if they abandoned you, or if they threw something, or if they were abusive or addictive to something. And you always have to scan the area, and it made you really highly sensitive to everyone and everything around you. It's like it opened up the chakras here to just like scan the whole thing, and you know exactly what goes on, because that needed to happen for you to be safe. You have hard to trust. And I mean, you think you trust, but you have hard to trust. Like really deeply trust, and knowing that people is there for you is really hard when you never experienced anyone emotionally being there for you. If you never experienced that, how can you see it? Like, it's very hard to even believe that someone will actually take care of my needs, because no one ever done it. What I've seen happening with this in my own life and other people's life is that when this happens, when you meet a partner or someone out there, it's really hard to give to this person. Like, if you have a partner, you're supposed to fulfill their needs in a way where you meet each other, right? But here, when you come from this place, you don't want to do that because you haven't fulfilled your own needs yet. And as long as you haven't fulfilled your own needs, you're going to be resentful when other people expect from you to fulfill their needs. You're going to be like, no, I don't want to do this. Like, maybe get angry. And that's because you haven't put that's because you haven't put yourself in the first room. Here, I have another video about how to fulfill your own needs. You can look at that one. It's these are connected to each other. There's a lot of guilt and shame. I know this myself. There's so much guilt and shame of thinking that you have done something wrong. You think that it was your fault that your parent did this and they couldn't meet your expectations of your needs. Therefore, you think that It's my fault. I created this, and that is shameful. It's guilty. It's horrible. I even experienced this in my own life where I physically manifested disease in my body, in my lower regions, because shame and guilt sits in the root chakra. And if that is not released, in the end it will cause a dis-ease. But I want to say with this that what it really gave you is that it creates independent and successful and driven people. And I know this in my life because I'm like that. And it creates some good parts where you really learn how to take care of yourself in the end. You really have to learn how to take care of yourself. And you go out and you do your stuff and you really want to live your life on your terms. But when it comes to meeting someone else and like do it together with other people, it can be hard. Give yourself time. Work on the shame and guilt. Work on meeting your own needs. What do I want? What do I need? This is a very powerful, and it can be a long process if you don't really know what to do with it. And you will be faced with situation where you're like, shit, I met a person, but I couldn't really be there for them because I felt so much resentment in myself. But it was not my fault. I chose this life, yes, but at the same time, I also haven't just learned yet. And when I learned, I'm gonna be more powerful than ever before. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna rock this life like never before, and I'm gonna make sure that I can live my life on my terms and meet my own needs and do my own wants and experience life from this beautiful place where it can be. Comment down below if you have experienced parentification or if there's something else you're wondering about. I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, guys, and I see you in the next video.